The word for you today, it's Wednesday, August the 27th. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 25 says, "Husbands, love your wives, just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her." This lesson is about loving and honoring your wife. God gives husbands a command that we're to love our wives, and then he tells us how to do it. He says, "Husbands, love your wives." He uses the word agape. It's a sacrificial kind of love. It's a love that's not based on emotions, but it's based on decision. We deliberately choose to love, whether we feel like it or not. This means that when we're tired, we love our wives. We do good to her. When we feel like being good to her and loving her, we love her. When we don't feel, we love her anyway. It's not a fuzzy feeling kind of thing. It was this is what I'm going to do. Now, it doesn't sound very romantic, and it really isn't, but that's what God tells us to do. Why? Because God gave us marriage. He knows what works in a marriage. And he tells us to love our wives just as Christ loved the church. How much did Jesus love the church? Well, he went to the cross. He gave his very life. So, guys, we're to be willing to give our very lives for our wives. Now, it doesn't mean we can't enjoy things. It doesn't mean we can't go to a ball game or whatever it is that you like to do. But it does mean that if it's a choice between your wife, making your wife happy or you happy, we need to be willing to give our lives for our wives. And then he gave himself up for us. Jesus gave himself up for us. And guys, we need to be willing to do that. He valued us above everything but his Father. We're to value our wives above everything other than the Father. Cyrus was founder of the Persian Empire. It was once said that he captured a prince and his family. And when they brought this prince and his family before him, he asked the prince, this captive says, "What will you give me if I release you?" He says, "The half of my wealth." "And if I release your children?" "Everything I possess." "And if I release your wife, your majesty, I will give myself, my life." Cyrus was so moved by the devotion that he freed them all. As they returned home, the prince was talking to his wife and says, "Wasn't Cyrus a handsome man?" The wife looked at her husband and said, "I didn't notice. I could only keep my eyes on the one who is willing to give himself up for me." Guys, when we love and honor our wives and we give ourselves for them, most of the time, that's going to gain a respect and admiration that we can't get any other way. Now, you say most of the time. Yeah. Can't guarantee every wife's going to respond that way. But you know what? You don't give her a chance to respond that way if we don't do it. So guys, today, think about what can I do to love and honor my wife? How would Jesus do it? What has he done for me? How can I love and honor my wife? Good luck and have a good day.